But can we just deal with, and I know I'll never win this fight because there are more people invested in lying to you than telling you the truth. Here's the truth. How many times do we hear this from Chalmers and gang?
And $1 trillion of debt. $1 trillion of debt. And we do have that $1 trillion in debt. That $1 trillion of debt absolutely heaving with $1 trillion in Liberal Party debt. That $1 trillion of debt. And we've inherited $1 trillion in debt with $1 trillion in Liberal debt. Around $1 trillion of debt. Absolutely heaving with $1 trillion in Liberal Party debt.
Okay, first things first, we all remember what the Labor Party's reaction was when there was a Liberal government that tried once to do something about balancing the budget. Remember the 2014 budget? I do, you do, we all lived it. It was the Labor Party that screamed like banshees and the public went along with it, and people only want more spending, no increased taxes, which means more deficits. But about this question about heaving with debt, now no one's pretending it's not a big number, but the number would have been way bigger if the Labor Party got what it wanted during the pandemic and in the years of the previous government. Put simply, every time the government spent $1, the Labor Party turned around and said, why don't you spend $1.50? You're being mean.
We'll have the job seeker reduced a payment because they won't provide for a permanent increase. What we won't see is responsible spending from the government. They should offer free TAFE, and they're undercutting the payment to doctors, a withdrawal of support for incomes for those people who are unemployed or those people who are on JobKeeper.
So if this was heaving, it would have been an even bigger heave if they got that they wanted. Remember, Chalmers wanted us to buy Virgin Airlines. Don't forget it. This is not the economy that you're living in, please. Oh, yeah, but they've come up with a new way to get a bit of money, and that is to try to go after people who own shares. We learned today that despite the fact that in 2019, self-funded retirees helped repel the Labor Party, sadly, there weren't enough of them that voted the right way at this election, which means guess who they're going to go after? People who are invested in the share market.
In 2019, what the Labor government proposed was illogical and it was unfair, and that impacted the investors. You know, the self-managed super funds, the mum and dad investors, you know, were going to get, you know, significantly unfairly treated. Now what they're proposing is the other side of the franking equation is companies. My perspective, I think it's, it's just the start of something significant. The Liberals are putting this up. We would fight them as hard as we're going to fight Labor.
Good luck to them. Seriously, elections have consequences and you know it because you're living it. You pay it. Get annoyed because enough people were sold a bunch of lies, including, remember, the changes they were going to make, that they were definitely going to help everyone on the dole. Did nothing about it. They're going to do something about cost of living. Did nothing about it. We're going to do something about the debt, but promised to cut very little government spending. Because as much as they would like to pretend that it's all car parks and rorts, it's baked in spending that the Labor Party in particular has demanded more of it of recent years. And any attempt to change that is hard-hearted, like a GP co-payment.